You step out the back door with your coffee. The air is still. And within seconds, a single robin sitting on the fence starts making a sharp, repetitive sound. And then, instantly, every other bird in the yard goes dead silent. The sparrows vanish into the hedges. The doves freeze. And the robin just keeps staring at you, making that same sharp sound. You haven't done anything. You're just standing there. But they are absolutely talking about you. Most people assume this is just morning noise, a bird being a bird, a random sequence of chirps that means nothing to anyone but another robin. You are wrong. What you just walked into is not random. It is a highly coordinated, real-time surveillance network that is tracking your specific movements, and you are the main topic of conversation. Welcome back to Why Birds Do That. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, because what you're about to learn will change the way you listen to the birds in your yard forever. Today we are going into the hidden language of the animals outside your window. Not the beautiful songs they sing to find a mate, but the urgent, specific text messages they send to stay alive. There are 5 things I want you to understand about what the birds are actually saying when you walk outside. Stay until the end, because the last one is the realization that changes how you see your own backyard permanently. Number 1. Your yard is a surveillance grid, and you are the giant. To understand what is happening when you step off your porch, you have to forget the idea of a peaceful backyard. To the birds that live there, your yard is a landscape of constant risk. And you, a creature 100 times their size, are a massive, unpredictable variable. Their survival depends on one thing: information. They need to know exactly where the threats are. So, they talk, constantly. When that robin makes that sharp t or chip sound, it is issuing a ground threat alarm. It is basically screaming to the entire neighborhood, "Attention, large ground threat moving near the patio." It is acting as a sentinel. It isn't just annoyed that you're there. It is pinning your exact location for every other living thing in a 100-yard radius. You aren't just taking a morning walk. You are being actively tracked. Number 2. They know exactly where the hawk is, and they aren't telling it. Stay with me here, because the engineering of this next sound is extraordinary. If you spend enough time in your yard, eventually you will hear a sound that is completely different from the sharp chip of the robin. It is a thin, extremely high-pitched seet. When you hear this, look at your feeders. They will be empty. This is the aerial predator alarm. Research from animal behaviorists has shown that the acoustic structure of this specific high-pitched whistle makes it almost impossible to locate. The tut sound is meant to draw attention. The high seet sound is an incoming air raid siren for a hawk. It tells every bird in your yard to dive for cover and freeze. But the frequency makes it incredibly difficult for the hawk flying overhead to figure out exactly which bush the sound came from. It is a masterclass in acoustic camouflage. They are warning each other while remaining completely invisible. Number 3. They have a specific code for how dangerous you are. But what comes next is something most people find impossible to believe. They don't just scream, "danger." They communicate the specific threat level. Researchers at the University of Washington studying the black-capped chickadee, one of the most common feeder birds in North America, discovered that their famous chickadee-dee-dee call is not a happy greeting. It is an alarm, and it is a graded alarm system. The number of D notes at the end of the call contains specific data about the size and speed of the predator. 2 Ds might indicate a large, slow-moving threat like a perched owl. But a small, highly agile hawk, the kind that hunts chickadees, will trigger a frantic chickadee-dee-dee-dee-dee. They are assessing the threat. They are assigning it a risk value, and they are broadcasting that data across your yard. Number 4. The entire forest is listening to your yard. Here is the part most people never consider, and it changes the relationship. When the robin in your yard yells about the cat crossing the fence, it isn't just robins who hear it. The sparrows hear it. The chickadees hear it. The squirrels hear it. Countless studies, including research published in the Proceedings of the Royal Society, have proven that different species actively eavesdrop on each other's alarms. Scientists have documented over 50 different species that understand and react to the chickadee's alarm call alone. This creates what researchers call a bow wave of information. As a predator moves through a neighborhood, the alarm calls spread ahead of it, moving faster than the predator itself can travel. Your backyard is not a collection of isolated animals. It is a fully integrated community, sharing a broadband connection of survival data. And when you walk out the door, the ripple of your presence travels through the neighborhood before you even reach the sidewalk. Number 5. What it means that you are known. I saved this one for last because it is the one that stays with people. We walk out of our houses every day assuming that we are the observers. We put up feeders. We watch the birds. We think of them as scenery. But the reality is that the scenery is watching back. You are a known entity in an invisible network. The birds in your yard have mapped your patterns. They have assigned a threat level to your dog. They know the difference between you walking to your car with your keys and a stray cat creeping along the foundation. When you step outside and the yard goes quiet, or when a robin chips at you from the fence, you are not just a person in a yard. You are a character in a story that is being told, out loud, by creatures that weigh less than a handful of coins. You are known to the wild things outside your door. That is not a small thing. The next time you walk outside, I challenge you to just stop and listen. Don't look. Listen. Hear the sharp chip. Hear the silence that follows. You are listening to the network react to you. Have you ever walked outside and felt the entire yard go completely silent? Or had a specific bird yell at you every time you stepped near a certain tree? Tell me what kind of bird it was and what you were doing when it happened. I want to know the specific story. I read every one.